Is the alliance between Donald Trump and the Senate Republican Conference finally cracking under the weight of his most controversial policy yet? A nearly $2 billion anti-weaponization fund, born from a settlement between the administration and the IRS, has sparked a firestorm of fury, and it's not just Democrats who are reaching for the matches. Before we continue, if you want to stay on top of everything happening in U.S. politics, hit that subscribe button right now and leave a like. It really helps this channel grow and keeps you informed on the stories the mainstream media often misses. This situation is rapidly spiraling out of control. Originally introduced as part of the Justice Department's post-settlement framework, the DOJ Billion Fund was intended to curb what the administration calls weaponization within the government. But for many Senate Republicans, the timing couldn't have been worse. The announcement dropped just days before a major reconciliation package, a massive $10 billion push to fund IC and Border Patrol, was set to wrap up. Many lawmakers felt blindsided, left in the dark about a massive expenditure that was announced at the most inconvenient moment possible. The frustration is boiling over. During a closed-door meeting with Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche, at least half of the Senate GOP conference expressed deep concern. They aren't just worried about the transparency of the fund, they're terrified about who might benefit from it. There are mounting questions about whether this money could eventually reach those convicted of assaulting police officers during the January 6th riots. The optics, for a party that prides itself on law and order, are a nightmare. But there is an undercurrent of personal tension here that cannot be ignored. Trump's recent interventions in Senate primaries, specifically his moves against popular incumbents like Senators Bill Cassidy and John Cornyn, left a bitter taste in the mouths of many GOP senators. They feel like they are being squeezed from both sides, pressured by the administration to fall in line on policy, while simultaneously watching their own colleagues get targeted by the president's political machine. This isn't just about a fund anymore. It's about control, loyalty, and the future direction of the Republican Party. Enter Chuck Schumer. The Senate Minority Leader sees a golden opportunity to wedge the GOP apart. He has made it clear that Democrats aren't going to let this slide. In a recent letter to his colleagues, Schumer declared that Democrats would force a vote to shut the fund down, threatening to use the vote-a-rama process where amendments are unlimited to put Republicans in a position where they either have to support the fund or join Democrats in dismantling it. Schumer is betting that there are enough moderate or disgruntled Republicans who would rather vote against the administration than defend a slush fund that their own base might find indefensible. The outcome of this is anyone's guess. If the fund stays, the GOP risks losing the support of its own caucus and handing Democrats a potent campaign narrative about corruption. If the fund is killed, it would mark a massive, public defeat for the Trump administration's legislative agenda and signal that the Senate GOP is no longer willing to be a rubber stamp for every executive action. We are watching a classic Washington power struggle, one where policy, personal vendettas, and legislative strategy collide. The Senate is returning from break, and the pressure is mounting. Will the Republicans fold, or will they seize this moment to finally push back? So what do you think about this? Is the Senate GOP right to be concerned about this fund, or is this just another case of political infighting that hurts the party's long-term goals? Drop your opinion in the comments below. I read every single one. The clock is ticking on this reconciliation process, and the decisions made in the next few days will define the legislative landscape for the remainder of this term. Whether this anti-weaponization fund survives the week or becomes the casualty of a GOP revolt, one thing is certain. The era of unified Republican legislative success is facing its biggest test yet. Stay tuned, because the fallout from this vote-a-rama is going to be felt in every corner of Washington.